Is this book called?
It's called Blindsight, that book, but the book isn't about that. It's this one character that I zeroed in on, which now he and I are working on, which is this idea where basically he thinks that if you look at something like lions in the wild, right?
Right.
Lions they're outnumbered by their prey, like, you know, whether it's 10 to 1 or 100 to 1. There's far fewer lions than there are gazelles, right? So the lions also have a disproportionate amount of sort of intelligence and logic compared to a gazelle, because they're the predator that hunts this predated animal. So he took that philosophy and created a branch off of sort of hominid upper primates that would be 10 times more intelligent than a human, that would keep the human numbers in check. Right. And it's crazy. And it only needs a certain enzyme that humans have in their blood. So it's not like the classic thing of vampires drinking tons of blood. It's just going after one enzyme. So it could actually just drink a little bit of blood and get what it needs that's only created by human beings, and then the rest of its diet could be like a normal diet, right? But the thing that he wrote that is the most incredible part of it is he's got this thing called the crucifix glitch, which is it's so intelligent, and it can hold, like the way that you're conscious or I'm conscious now, it can hold 2 or 3 or 4 versions of consciousnesses like that in its head at any given moment. So it can look at topics from multiple real points of view. And what it does is it basically goes into hibernation like a vampire. It lets the human population build up. And then when it comes out of hibernation, over a few generations, its existence may have been turned into myth or something, and then it hunts the population down again, right? So this is the thing he came up with. Because its brain structure is so different, and because it's such an excellent predator, and it's completely sociopathic, because as you would need to be if you're chewing on something, right? It's just a total, it's basically like a serial killer on steroids that like we've never seen. It's like mixing a serial killer with a particle physicist like Einstein. But he came up with this thing where its visual cortex is different to a human, and it calculates like horizontal and vertical simultaneously to look. It's like a pattern recognition system for hunting. And up until only a few thousand years ago, there were no right angles in nature. Nature was nature. But humans started building, you know, Euclidean geometry buildings, like Greek Parthenons and stuff. And that caused an overlap in its visual cortex that looks like a right angle, and it sent the vampires into grand mal epileptic seizures. So we misinterpreted that as holding up crosses, right?
So it just can't go to cities.
Well, it can't go anywhere that humans move to, and so they died off, right?
Wow,
it's crazy. So
that's a great idea.